We will now call the Plan Commission of October 14th, 2025 to order. Roll call, please.
Hannah here.
All cheer.
Pachynski here.
Gavich here.
Guzikowski here.
Seifert here.
Chandler here.
Okay. Approval of minutes of September the 23rd, 2025. Give you a moment or two to take a look. Satisfied there's no discussion, errors, omissions, or corrections. Motion.
Seifert moves to approve the minutes of September 23rd, 2025.
Guzikowski will second.
Roll call. Beginning.
Hannah, I.
All aye.
Pachynski, aye.
Gavich, aye.
Guzikowski, aye.
Seifert, aye.
Chandler abstains.
On to our first item. Item 4 is a review of an amended site and related plans for the addition of an RV parking spaces and pet relief area at the Love's Travel Stop. This is an existing business. It's at 9650 South 20th. Todd?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. So you may all be remembering this back in February 2024 that the applicant came before you with a site plan which you approved to add RV parking spaces and a pet relief area on the north end of their property. So they're here today to ask for approval to an amended plan to that previously approved plan back in February of 2024. Kind of a refresher of what that looks like, the existing site. We have a couple of photographs. Top is from Ryan Road, and then below that is the view from 20th Street. And then also you can kind of see, give you a recall as how the property is currently used. The south end being parking for semi trucks with fuel canopies. You have the Love's Travel Center there with canopy with gas. And at the far north corner, which is, you see kind of grass there, that's where they had their RV parking approved. So the previous plan that you approved, which had 8 RV parking spaces for overnight parking up again at that north end, the area highlighted it with a blue square there and then zoomed in. So that was going to have 5 stalls that were going to be where they would back in, RV would back into it, 3 spaces that would be pull-through spaces just south of there. The spaces have electric, water, and sewer hookup, and then they were also going to be adding an access drive so that RVs could access each one of those parking spaces. They also had a roughly 5,000 square foot dog relief area just to the north of that as well, and that was going to be enclosed by a 4-foot tall black vinyl coated chain link fence. To today, obviously no permits have been pulled. The parking spaces are not there. They're back again amending this plan, shrinking it. So they're looking to now remove those 5 northern RV spaces and instead have 4 back-end spaces where previously you had the 3 pull-through spaces. Now it will be 4 back-end RV spaces. Again, with the hookups, will still be there just like before. And then they're going to be removing the access drive that they had previously shown because now you just have those 4 back-end stalls. Because there's less RVs, they're looking to also reduce the size of the dog relief area or dog park area from about 5,000 square feet to 3,000 square feet, but it would still be enclosed by the same fence as previously mentioned. So, shrinking this up a bit does keep a little bit more of the open space than the previous plan. They're also revising their landscape plan a little bit because of the less amount of parking of RVs. So, but they previously had shrubs that were extending all along the 20th Street here from the relief area all the way to the access drive down here. So they used to have shrubs and also 3 trees along that for a buffer. And along Ryan Road, they had 6 trees, and also we're lining that street frontage with shrubs as well, again, to add for screening for the new RV parking area. So because it shrunk a little bit, they did make a little bit of, very little change to the landscape plan. It pretty much stays the same along Ryan Road, though. The same amount of plantings as before, kind of pulling it south a little bit to be more with the location of the dog area. They did reduce the plantings on 20th Street as they felt they'd have less area that will be needing screening, less disturbance area. So they have reduced their number of plantings quite a bit, and also the number of trees, where now they have 1 canopy tree, but it's all down here further south to be screening for that parking for the RV area. I believe the applicant is here if you have any questions. Otherwise, the suggested motion is on the screen.
Okay, thank you, Todd. At this time, does the applicant want to get up and say a few words or wait on questions? Need your name and address, sir?
Yes, sir. Frank Illy, 10601 North Pennsylvania, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. I just kind of wanted to explain, you may be wondering why we shrunk the size of the hookups down. In the last year and a half, we've learned some lessons, and we're trying to do things a little bit less expensively. We just opened up, we call this a Model 3 RV hookup, and what that means to us is the hookups are in the car area, the car parking area. We also have several independent, what you would call an RV park, because we own land adjacent to a store, but those are fenced in and those are private parks. Yesterday we opened up the 96th one of these, the Model 3s, and that's really the direction we're trying to take this right now. The idea behind these RV hookups is if somebody's taking a cross-country trip in their RV, we hope that they can map out their trip and stay at a Love's every night, and they'll save a lot of money. We typically charge about $45 for these one-night hookups. Obviously, we don't mind if they eat dinner and breakfast at the store and those kind of things, but it's just an amenity that we wanted to provide, a service that we wanted to provide for our RV customers. The RV business really took off during COVID, and it's still very popular today. So that's why we started doing this about 3.5 years ago. So if you have any questions of why we want it here or why we shrunk it down or anything like that, I can hopefully answer those for you.
Okay, stand by. We'll go to the commission.
Yes, I actually have a question about this letter, Todd. I'm not quite sure I understand what is this about. And maybe you can chime in.
Well, this is a letter that we received, myself, staff, and each commissioner received this from, I believe, a resident.
Yes, so have you received this letter as well?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
So to comment a little bit on the letter, I got the letter as well, and each commissioner got a letter. It was anonymously written, so it appears to have come from a resident voicing concerns about RV parking, and I think some grave misunderstandings about what this is, and I don't know if it centers back to some of the issues the state was having along with parking rights and things like that, but really take the agenda item, what you're seeing at council, what is there. For lack of a better word, if you've read the letter, it's awkwardly written, and obviously they have concerns and they want to make you aware of it, and I think that should be the extent of it, and then go ahead with the proposal for 4 versus.
Okay, I guess my question to you is, have you encountered any homeless people taking place at your property there?
We have not. we don't want this to be a trailer park. We don't want people living there. The average stay at a Model 3 is 1.1 nights. So almost nobody stays 2 nights, and nobody stays longer than that. This is truly meant for people who are traveling across the country. If they do stay 2 or 3 nights, it's at a location where there might be a softball or baseball tournament across the street. But even then, they don't like to stay just in our parking lot. This is for an overnight convenience is what it is. We also have a set of standards. You can't have any lawn furniture. You have to have an RV that's 10 years old or newer. So if you can imagine, our priority is the store. So we don't want anything out there that's going to dissuade customers from coming to our store, just like the residents of Oak Creek wouldn't either. So we keep our places nice and clean. I hope you all have seen that in the store, and that the same will be for the outside and for these RV hookups.
Yes, and I'm aware of the park and ride where the state had removed those homeless people, and they have relocated them to places that they can stay. So what is your enforcement methods, just in case if someone try to stay there and use it as a home?
Right. Well, as you know, we never close. So each shift, the manager on duty, so that's 3 times a day, they go out and police the entire lot, but they, in particular, police these RVs. So everything is automated. Their reservation comes in an email, and when they check in, they click on the link on the email. That's what turns on their power.
Okay.
So if they stay a second night and they only booked 1 night, they don't have a hookup. They don't have power. The water doesn't work. The sewer lid doesn't open. So they're just sitting there parking. And usually somebody else is going to come the second night and stay in that place. So we ask them to move. But we really haven't run into that very much at all.
Good, thank you.
Really, the only thing I see that turning and backing in might be a little challenging, just with the amount of traffic that comes in and out of that place. Have you seen that in any other facilities with this kind of a turning in there?
It's a very common comment that we get, but I will just tell you the maximum number of vehicles a day will be 8. 4 coming in and 4 going out. So in the grand scheme, it's really, RVs come and fuel up now anyway, and the RVers come in the store and shop at our store. If this adds any traffic at all, it'll literally just be 8 vehicles a day.
Yeah, not so much adding the traffic, it's because that's the main entrance way into the facility, isn't it? That one?
It is, and
I'm just thinking if they're going to come in and they got to turn to somehow back into this thing, they're going to need to have somebody with them kind of stopping people and managing that.
that's true, and that does happen. They'll be heading west and backing in over their right shoulder. I don't know how accurate the auto turn analysis was done to show that the turning radius will work. It doesn't really address how long it'll take them to park, but typically these people know what they're doing, so it doesn't take that long. We haven't run into a lot of problems, is what I'm saying.
Okay. Only question I had. Thank you.
No questions. Thank you.
Chris?
No questions.
Brad?
I'm just curious, how are you really going to enforce this? If people pull in, they pay their fee, but, they decide they want to stay longer and.
Well, like I said, if they don't book another night, they won't have any power, they won't have Wi-Fi, they won't have water, and they won't have sewer. But to answer your real question, it's the management of the store that polices this. They already police the lot, and as you can imagine, there's a whole lot more trucks parking in the back than 4 RVs in the front. But their job is to police the whole thing, and it's every single shift has management that does this.
If they do stay past their time, can you actually evict them?
Absolutely, and we will. Somebody else will reserve that spot. So they'll have to move when that person shows up. When you get a reservation, you have to pick which spot you want. They'll be numbered 1 through 4. You can't just pull into number 3 if you reserved number 1, because the power won't work until you check in. And they can make a reservation in the store, but 85%, I think, do it online on our app, the Loves app, and about 10% do it in the store because they literally show up, they're tired, they didn't know we had hookups at the store, and they go inside and they say, how can I book that spot? And the manager shows them how. And the manager basically says, get the app right now and I'll show you. So we want it all to be automated.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Aussie?
No additional questions. Thank you.
I have none either. It makes sense. It's less impactful and it's farther off the corner. Parking got addressed. Understand the dog park got scaled back. I'd like to see the landscape stay along Ryan Road. I do understand on the western border reducing it some. So that I don't have any concerns. So, if there's no further discussion or questions. Motion.
Guzekowski makes a motion that the Plan Commission approves the amended site and related plans for the addition of RV parking spaces and pet relief area at Love's Travel Stop, an existing business located at 9650 South 20th Street with the following conditions. 1, that all relevant code requirements remain in effect. 2, that all new mechanical equipment, transformers, and utility boxes shall be screened from view. And 3, that this approval by Plan Commission shall expire within 12 months after the date of approval if the building permit has not been issued.
And a
Chandler
second?
Got a second. It
Okay,
was close.
it's me.
Go with Christine. Roll call, beginning with Steve.
Ouch, aye.
Chinsky, aye.
Gavich, aye.
Guzekowski, aye.
Seifert, aye.
Chandler, aye.
And an aye.
Okay,
Thank you.
good luck, sir.
Go Brewers.
Go Brewers.
Over.
Yeah, go Brewers. That's the spirit. Item 5, review a preliminary subdivision plot for the Millwood Glen single-family residential subdivision to be located at 3521 East Oakwood Road. Todd?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This should be another site that you commission is familiar with, as back in July of this year they came before you looking for a recommendation to the Common Council to rezone the property, which was previously RS2 and now is RS4. Common Council then approved the rezone at public hearing in August, and so now they've returned looking for approval of a preliminary plat, very similar to what they showed with accompanying their request for the rezone, which had 44 single-family residential lots. And you can see, you saw this a couple of months ago, the current condition of the property is photo there. So a little bit about the property again. The entire site is 38 acres. And although about 14 acres of that is actually wetland, and you can see that a little bit on this aerial photo, the lightly green outlined areas, which there are 6 in total, little area, or I should say areas of various wetland. The largest being the southern portion here, which is majority of the wetland resides there, and then you have some pockets in the northern half as well that are wetlands. The applicant is currently in the process of pursuing an exemption to the at least the 5 northern wetland areas, as they would conflict with what they're proposing as far as where buildable lots would be and roads and so forth. So they are currently in that process, and you'll see a condition in our recommended motion is that that letter is received by staff prior to coming back for agreement, development agreement to Common Council. So, and there's also a lot of floodplain, specifically flood fringe on the southern end of this property as well. Nothing that they're proposing would impact that area at all. So I said they're keeping the development to the north. Currently, it's used as agricultural and open space, but the comprehensive plan shows this for single-family detached, and as mentioned, it is now zoned RS4, single-family residential district, which does allow a density of 5.4 units per net acre, lot sizes of 8,000 square feet as a minimum, and lot widths as 60 feet. So that's what the current zoning, which was just approved, does allow for this site. Should also be noted that back in 2018 that there was a study, part of the Strategic Action Plan initiative, that did look at the city as a whole, trying to identify areas, tracts of land that would be good for future single-family lot development, and that this actual site, which you can see zoomed into here, did receive a highest score. One of those that was green for their most would be best fit for future single-family lots because of its size and location. It was already, comp plan showed it as single-family. It was already zoned residential even at that time. There's access to public water, sanitary sewer, and it's all in one owner, which makes it a little more ease. And also it is one of the larger tracts, and like I said, 38 acres, so anything larger than 10 acres was seen as more feasible for development. So this, again, is very similar to what you saw a few months ago. We're calling it kind of a conservation style, in that similar to a conservation subdivision. It has its residential lots kind of pulled together, concentrated up onto the north side of the parcel, the property. As I had mentioned, and the rest of it will be just remain open space for the most part, with the wetlands, and then some of the stormwater as well, ponds there. Single-family detached homes, I noted, total lots 44, single-family lots, and then 3 outlots as well. The largest of that being that kind of surrounds to the west and north, which will then house the environmental areas, the wetlands and the flood plain, and also where the stormwater facilities will be, 2 ponds, as you can see. And then there's 2 other outlots, one for each of the islands within the cul-de-sac you see here, and you can kind of see is very similar to the design of the subdivision that they showed in their concept. Well, kind of looks like an H, where it has 2 cul-de-sacs joined in the middle here by a east-west street. The lot sizes, a little bit bigger for the minimum, so they're going 9,000, just over 9,000 square feet is the smallest lot that they show. The largest is just a little over 16,000 square feet. So the average lot size in what they're proposing is a little over 11,000 square feet. And to kind of give a little bit of context on that, if you look at the subdivision to the east, which is Willowbrook, actually their minimum lot size is 10,000 square feet. And they actually have quite a few lots in that subdivision that are just around 10,000 square feet. And I think the largest is about 16 or so thousand square feet over there. And then also, if you just look at those 4 lots that this will be surrounding, those are each a little over 13,000 square feet. So they're pretty close-ish within the, close to that average lot size that's being proposed around it. And the overall density here of this development is under 2 units per net acre, and as I mentioned before, RS4 would allow up to 5.4 units per acre. So in fact, this is less than the density that would be required for the previous zoning, which was RS2, would allow up to 2.9. So this is less than what even the previous zoning would have allowed at the 1.83 units per acre. And just a couple renderings of some of the styles of homes that they would be considering for this subdivision, and also have a more cleaned up version of the of the subdivision, so you can see how those homes would would sit within each of the parcels properties proposed. You can also see how those wetlands that do exist currently would interfere and conflict with what they're proposing here on the north end. But as I said, they're currently going through the process to get exemption from the of those wetlands from the DNR, and if they do in fact get the exemption, then they would be able to potentially fill those to pursue the development. So I believe the applicant is here for questions. Otherwise, suggested motion is on the screen.
Great. Thank you, Todd. Does the applicant want to say anything or wait upon questions? Okay. Start to the right. Commissioner Chandler.
No questions, thank you.
Fred?
No questions at this time.
Okay, Chris?
No questions?
I do not have any questions. We will continue as engineering department, work with the applicant on stormwater management report, development agreement, whatnot. We started some preliminary conversations, and then we'll continue those if this preliminary plat is approved.
No issues from what I've seen, no questions.
Can you bring the rendering that you had before on the screen? Homes, yeah. So I have a question for
Name and address, sir?
Ben Lang, 6801 Southtown Drive, Madison.
you. So the 44 units that we have on the screen here. Sorry. So I'm going to look on this screen over there. So they're going to be more development later on if you get the approval from the DNR and FHWA to fill those, or this is the maximum development you're going to have on this lot?
44 lots is the maximum.
So nothing else. So if there is like a life, like a wildlife or anything like that, it's just going to be conserved in that back north to that lot.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. And any storm sewer, I guess is going to be coordinated with the engineering just to make sure that those like those ponds are going to be. Okay, that's all. I'm sorry, one more. Those access to that to those development on the roadway, are those going to be the maximum access that you're going to have from that lot?
You're saying the two access points to Oakwood Road? Yes, I do believe the way we have it shown, we are not planning any driveway access from the subdivision out to Oakwood. So all of the traffic would have to come out onto the roads we'll be building and then out to Oakwood Road from there.
And you have made sure that those access roads are going to be, make sure that they're going to be not impacted with the traffic on Oakwood? Like the stop sign, the left or right, not going to be sit there for a long time for them to turn left or right?
So I just generally speaking, the scale of this development did not trigger any major traffic concerns. And we have aligned them and worked with staff in preliminary review to make sure that they're aligned and safe in a safe manner.
Okay. I don't know, this area is going to be like a signal to the left, at the intersection to the left or the right, they're going to be impacting this, or have you looked into that?
Not to my knowledge. I don't know of any signal issues.
I'm saying with the development added to the development, maybe this is something good to look at.
There's not something that has come up to date. Again, because of the scale of this development, from a regional perspective, it is fairly consistent with the development density in the area. Not really hasn't come up in discussions as a expected, regional issue with any traffic signals or major movements on the thoroughfares.
Okay, thank you.
Ben, just while you're here, just to be very clear, condition 4, that a non-federal wetland exemption letter from the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources provided to our engineering and community development departments prior to the development stormwater agreements being presented to Common Council for approval. So you realize, until the DNR is cool with this, stormwater and the whole thing, there's been consternation about that. Again, this all gets managed.
Yep.
Usually in the process of stormwater management, things tend to improve versus an ungraded field where water goes. So I just want to make sure you're cool with that.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
if you're not, you're kind of dead on arrival. You know?
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, we are fully of the understanding that this entire project is contingent on us obtaining our wetland approvals and us working through the stormwater review with city staff and engineering. And I mean, we understand that burden rests on our shoulders to be able to prove that out and go obtain those permits and approvals.
You know, and just regarding Oakwood, the traffic engineers, if there's a turn lane in, out, this is gonna be no more impactful than Oakwood Lakes is. There's 2 openings there. Probably the same number of homes coming out. Not everybody's coming out at once. So, definitely safety is a factor on there, but I'm sure Oakwood, I don't know where the traffic counts are, but you know, our traffic engineers will be up at everything as well. I guess that's it. I just really wanted to make sure on that 4. That's a big one for us because none of us are DNR folk or what have you, or stormwater specialists. You know, we have them here, but we rely on experts for that.
We certainly do. They're here tonight if you have any questions, but yeah, I mean, that is definitely all part of the process. We understand the importance of it.
Great. Any other questions, concerns? Nothing? And again, until a letter appears, this will not come before council.
Actually, I have one more question.
Sure.
Are you going to have a bike, like a bike access within that path on the roadway inside?
So all of the roads planned in the subdivision will have sidewalks on both sides. They're not any on Oakwood today, and it's not really anywhere for it to be connected to, unfortunately. But within the development, we are going to have sidewalks on both sides of the roads, which is a requirement of the zoning district that we rezoned it to.
The bikes are allowed on the sidewalk? I don't believe
I
they
guess,
are.
yeah, I guess I don't know what the
They're not
ordinance would
allowed on
be.
the sidewalk. So what I'm saying is, maybe in case of, in the future of Oakwood Road being like redeveloped, maybe this is something to work with engineering. If it happens, maybe on the roadway, on your roadway, since it's gonna be newer, to allow for side bike lanes.
There's
This
no
is-
bike lane.
There is none?
There's bike lanes dedicated in some of the thoroughfares, not within subdivisions. So for better or worse, I tell you, the kids are riding bikes up and out my sidewalks. And I'm glad to see it. Actually, they're motorized bikes. But no, there are no bike
Because
Yeah.
I know on 13th Street, they're going to be adding bike lanes
lanes.
there.
It's a thoroughfare,
Yeah,
and that's county.
yes, I
And I
know.
believe they exist on trucks
Segments, yeah.
as well. But within a subdivision, you can argue that the kids shouldn't be riding their roads and bike.
I think up until
Their
12 years
bikes in the
old,
road. but-
you can ride on a sidewalk until you're, what, 12? I'm no expert, but
I would never drive my bike on Oakwood. It's way too narrow,
Elkwood is not
too
a
deep of ditches.
bike-friendly place. But anyways, no, there's none in subdivision.
I would say that's consistent with all the other subdivisions we built in the area, and I don't know that we've heard that it's been an issue at all. In the one that I work in daily, we actually have our model home we work out of. There's kids riding up and down all the time, and it's a really nice cohesive environment. People come out and play in the you have kids playing every evening in the neighborhood. It's a really engaged community.
No safety concerns?
We
someone
haven't had
backing up
we
and-
haven't had any issues.
Okay.
People are
that's good.
very respectful when they're coming in and out of the neighborhood. They get it. There's kids there. There's families there.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you.
Other discussion? Motion.
Guzekowski makes a motion that the plan commission approves the preliminary subdivision plat for Wood Glen single-family residential subdivision to be located at 3521 East Oakwood Road. With the following conditions: 1, that all relevant code requirements remain in effect. 2, that all water and sewer utility connections are coordinated with the Oak Creek Water and Sewer Utility. 3, that all required development and stormwater agreements are coordinated with the engineering department. 4, that all non-federal wetland exemption letter and from the Wisconsin DNR is provided to the engineering department and community development departments prior to development, and stormwater agreements being presented to the Common Council for approval. 5, that all technical corrections, including but not limited to corrections required for compliance with the municipal code and Wisconsin statutes are made prior to recording. And 6, that all revisions to the preliminary subdivision plat are submitted electronically to the Department of Community Development prior to submission of permit applications.
Seifert seconds.
Roll call, beginning with Ashley.
Kipchinsky, aye.
David, aye.
Guzekowski, aye.
Seifert, aye.
Chandler, aye.
Hannah, aye.
Ouch, aye.
Okay, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Work on that letter and those stormwater plans. Thank you. Next, we have the adoption of, believe it or not, 2026 meeting schedule. We need to review this and adopt a schedule for the upcoming calendar year. So, Todd, I'm gonna let you, obviously, what you have on the screen, highlighted dates would be our meeting dates. Todd?
That is correct. So in general, the meetings like normal are every second and fourth Tuesday of the month, with a couple of exceptions, with, of course, the holidays in November, December, and then also Action April, or staff will actually be out on a conference to further our skills as planners. So that would conflict there, but otherwise it's a pretty standard schedule that we've had previous years.
Yeah, it might get a little heavy in the November, December meetings, with it being light. And same would be true of coming in April, May. But question, any of these meetings fall on anybody's birthdays? Conflicts like that?
No.
Okay. I know it's impossible to look at travel and vacation schedules. It happens from time to time, but it is important we try to keep a quorum. Just want to know if we got to bring in cake or anything on any specific.
Always, and it doesn't have to be on a birthday, right? So, but yes, I have when are we gonna have like some celebration for celebrating together? I don't see it on
Well,
our
we kind
calendar
of do it
yet.
as a city in May when we do the recognition for everybody that serves on a board or commission. So if you haven't attended in the past, usually that happens in May, I believe. It's a good time. Have you been in one, Todd?
Yeah, I was, yeah.
Or you had
The most
la-
recent
oh, yeah,
one.
you probably would have made the
Mhm.
last one. That's a good one. Were you at the one when the racing sausages came?
I did not. I wasn't that here yet,
Yeah,
but I missed out.
oh, well.
I heard it was the worst.
But
Okay, let's adjourn.
yeah, speaking of the sausage race, we should get out of here before the 6th. So, does anybody have any questions, comments on anything concerning the upcoming calendar? Okay. We need a motion on that to
Seifert moves to approve the recommended calendar for the planning commission on 2026.
Ouch, second.
adopt. Roll call. Chris, you want to begin?
Sure. Guzekowski, aye.
Seifert, aye.
Chandler, aye.
Hannah, aye.
Ouch, aye.
Kipchinsky, aye.
David, aye. And that'll get us to adjournment. Before we go, I guess best wishes to the Brewers tonight.
When do they start?
7 o'clock, I believe.
Oh, boy.
Should be a good game. They were very close yesterday, but I don't have a lot of concerns. I think we got this one. How's that for confidence? So, we'll look for a motion to adjourn.
Seifert moves for adjournment at 6:44.
Guzekowski, will second.
Roll call. Fred, you want to start us?
Seifert, aye.
Chandler, aye.
And I.
Bouch, aye.
Pipchinsky, aye.
Kokavich, aye.
Guzekowski, aye.
Okay, everybody, thank you very much. Go Brewers.